Have you ever been woken up in the middle of the night by a painful leg cramp that feels like your muscles are twisting in knots? You shoot up, rubbing your calf, trying to walk it off, wondering what on earth caused it. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. Leg cramps and weakness become more common as we get older, but the good news is, there are things we can do about it. In fact, there are key vitamins that can make a real difference in how strong and steady your legs feel, and today, we're going to talk about exactly that. In this video, we're going to talk about 7 important vitamins that can help strengthen your legs and reduce those annoying, sometimes downright painful, leg cramps. If you've been feeling a bit shaky on your feet, or you've noticed more muscle soreness than usual, don't brush it off. Your body could be missing something important. And it's not just about aging, it could also be connected to your diet, your stress levels, your sleep, or even certain medications. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll know how to give your legs the support they need to keep you moving with confidence. Let's start with one of the most overlooked, yet essential, nutrients for muscle function: magnesium. This mineral plays a big role in keeping your muscles relaxed and your nerves firing properly. When your body runs low on magnesium, muscles can tighten up and cramp. That's why low magnesium is often behind those sudden nighttime leg cramps or spasms during the day. A lot of people in their 50s and 60s are unknowingly low in magnesium, either because of digestion changes that come with age or because of medications like diuretics. If you've ever been prescribed a water pill for blood pressure, that could be affecting your magnesium levels. The good news is, you can get magnesium through foods like leafy greens, almonds, and beans, or from a supplement if needed. But before you grab one off the shelf, it's worth talking to your doctor about the best form and dosage, especially if you're taking other medications. And remember, signs of magnesium deficiency can show up in more ways than just cramps, like fatigue, irritability, or even memory fog. That's right, magnesium also affects how our brains work, not just our muscles. Now, speaking of brain health, let's talk about something that affects both your mental clarity and your physical strength: vitamin B12. This one is crucial. As we age, our bodies have a harder time absorbing B12 from food. And when your B12 levels drop, you might feel it in your legs first: tingling, numbness, or even weakness. Some people think they're just getting clumsy or slowing down, but really, their nerves are sending out warning signs. That's because B12 helps build and protect the sheath around your nerves, kind of like insulation on a wire. When that insulation breaks down, your muscles don't get the right signals, and that can affect your balance and strength. Low B12 can also mimic symptoms of memory loss and even depression. You might feel foggy, forgetful, or down without knowing why. And yes, memory loss caused by B12 deficiency can be reversed, especially if caught early. The same goes for muscle weakness. Getting enough B12, through fortified foods, a supplement, or injections if needed, can make a noticeable difference. If you've been feeling off lately, it's worth getting your levels checked. Don't wait for things to get worse when there's something simple you can do to help your body bounce back. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about vitamin D. This one is often called the sunshine vitamin, and it does a whole lot more than support your bones. It also plays a big role in muscle function and balance. Without enough vitamin D, your legs may feel weaker, and you might be more prone to falls, something we definitely want to avoid. The problem is, most of us just don't get enough sun, especially if we live in colder climates or tend to stay indoors more. But here's where it gets even more important. Low vitamin D levels have also been linked to increased stress and even depression, which, in turn, can make memory loss worse. Yes, memory loss from depression is real, and while it can feel scary, it's not necessarily permanent. When depression is treated, especially if it's tied to a vitamin deficiency like low D, cognitive function can improve. The same goes for sleep deprivation. If your body is running on empty, your memory and muscles both suffer. Thankfully, when you start correcting those deficiencies, whether through better sleep or proper supplements, your mind and body can both start to recover. So far, we've talked about magnesium, B12, and vitamin D, 3 key players when it comes to strong, cramp-free legs. But what's really striking is how all of these tie back to something bigger: the way our bodies change with age, and how we need to adjust along the way. It's not about chasing youth, it's about staying steady, comfortable, and confident in your own skin. Sometimes people ask, why am I getting cramps all of a sudden? Or, why are my legs so weak lately? And the truth is, there's often more than one cause. It might be related to stress. Chronic stress throws off your hormone balance and drains essential nutrients, especially magnesium. Or it could be from not drinking enough water, or even from poor circulation. But vitamins are a key piece of the puzzle, and once you start addressing those gaps, everything else can start falling into place. And yes, this matters even for younger adults. These issues don't only affect people over 60. More and more people in their 30s and 40s are experiencing memory loss, muscle weakness, and fatigue, often because of stress, poor diet, or lack of sleep. It's not just getting older. It's about how we support our bodies through what life throws at us. Now that we've looked at some of the most essential vitamins and how they affect your leg strength, your memory, and even your mood, let's keep going. There are still a few more powerful nutrients that can make a big difference, and you may not have heard of them yet. One vitamin that doesn't always get the spotlight, but absolutely should, is vitamin E. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that just for skin? Well, yes, it does help your skin stay soft and youthful, but vitamin E also plays a big role in circulation. And good blood flow is essential if you want strong, pain-free legs. Without proper circulation, your muscles don't get the oxygen they need to perform and recover. That's when you start noticing aches, swelling, or even that heavy, dragging feeling when you walk. Sometimes it's blamed on age, but the root issue might be poor circulation tied to a lack of vitamin E. Vitamin E is an antioxidant, which means it protects your cells from damage, including the cells in your muscles and blood vessels. And the better your blood vessels work, the better your legs feel. You can find vitamin E in nuts, seeds, and spinach. If you're someone who doesn't eat those often, or if you have a condition that affects fat absorption, like celiac disease or certain medications, you might be falling short. Let's also talk about potassium. Now, this one is often overlooked until it becomes a problem. Potassium is crucial for muscle contractions. When your potassium levels drop, your muscles start sending out warning signs, cramps, twitching, or even heart palpitations. People often associate low potassium with athletes who sweat a lot, but older adults can be just as vulnerable, especially if they're on diuretics or blood pressure medications, which flush potassium out of the system. Here's something interesting. Potassium works hand in hand with magnesium. You really need both in balance for your muscles and nerves to work smoothly. Without that balance, you're more likely to feel weak, tired, or crampy. Bananas are a well-known source of potassium, but don't stop there. Avocados, sweet potatoes, and beans are also great options. If you're someone who wakes up with those sharp, toe-curling cramps, try adding more potassium-rich foods to your evening meals and see if it helps. Now I want to bring up a vitamin that people tend to associate with pregnancy, but it's just as important later in life: folate, or vitamin B9. Folate helps produce red blood cells and supports healthy nerve function. And when your nerves are sluggish, your muscles feel it. Tingling, numbness, even restlessness in your legs. All of these can be signs your nerves aren't getting the support they need. One reason folate deficiency happens more often as we age is because of digestion changes. Your gut might not absorb nutrients as well as it used to. And if you're dealing with chronic stress or inflammation, your body burns through B vitamins faster. That's why sometimes, even with a decent diet, you might still fall short. And yes, folate is important for your brain too. Memory loss tied to low folate is real, but just like with B12, it can often be reversed when you catch it in time and restore proper levels. It's fascinating how everything in the body is so connected, isn't it? Your legs cramp up, and at first glance, it might seem like just a minor issue. But when you dig a little deeper, you realize it could be pointing to something larger, like a nutrient imbalance, poor sleep, high stress, or even memory fog creeping in. And here's something many people don't realize. When you're sleep deprived, your muscles don't recover as well. They stay tense longer, they cramp easier, and your risk of injury goes up. But here's the encouraging part. Memory loss and muscle fatigue caused by sleep deprivation can often be turned around with consistent rest and the right nutritional support. Stress is another hidden trigger for leg issues. It messes with your hormones, increases inflammation, and drains your nutrient reserves, especially magnesium and B vitamins. That's why, during high-stress periods, you might feel more forgetful, your muscles might feel weaker, or your cramps might get worse. You're not imagining it. Your body's literally running on low power. And unfortunately, many people try to just push through, instead of listening to what their body's asking for: better sleep, more nutrients, and a little bit of care. So far, we've talked about 6 powerful nutrients: magnesium, B12, vitamin D, vitamin E, potassium, and folate. Each one affects your legs, your brain, and your energy in unique ways. But before we move on to the last one, I want to touch on something that often gets skipped: how to prevent these issues before they start. Especially as we get older, prevention is everything. Once the muscle loss starts, or the cramps become frequent, or the memory fog sets in, it takes more work to get back to balance. But if you stay ahead of it, you can avoid a lot of that struggle. Simple habits like staying hydrated, moving regularly, and keeping an eye on your diet make a big difference. If you're skipping meals, eating mostly processed foods, or not getting outside much, your legs and your mind will feel it. Even something as simple as stretching your legs in the morning or taking short walks throughout the day can improve circulation and reduce the chance of cramps. Add a multivitamin or targeted supplements, and you're giving your body the tools it needs to keep going strong. And here's something important: if you've been prescribed medications for other conditions, it's worth having a conversation with your doctor about how those meds might be affecting your nutrient levels. Some medications, especially those for blood pressure, cholesterol, or mood, can slowly deplete your body's vitamins and minerals over time. It's not always obvious, but over the years, it adds up. That's why checking your levels, especially for B12, D, and magnesium, can be one of the smartest things you do for your long-term health. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. And once you know what your body needs, you can take small, consistent steps to meet those needs. Whether you're 45, 60, or 75, it's never too late to feel stronger, more stable, and more energized. Your legs carry you through life, literally. So it makes sense to give them what they need to carry you with power, confidence, and comfort. There's one more vitamin that deserves a spotlight when it comes to leg strength and preventing cramps, and that's calcium. Now, most people think of calcium just in relation to bone health, and yes, it's essential for keeping your bones dense and strong. But calcium is also a major player in muscle function. Without enough of it, your muscles can't contract or relax properly. That's when you get those stiff, tight, or cramping sensations that seem to come out of nowhere. You might assume that if you're drinking milk or eating cheese, you're all set. But here's the thing: just like with other nutrients, your body's ability to absorb calcium changes as you age. And calcium works best when it's teamed up with vitamin D and magnesium. They help move it into the bones and muscles where it's actually needed. If you're low on one, the others might not work as well. That's why it's important to think about these nutrients as a team, not in isolation. Calcium is especially important if you've noticed any twitching in your legs, or a sense of weakness when standing up from a chair or walking upstairs. And if you've had a fall, even a minor one, that could be a sign that your muscles and bones need some extra attention. Supporting your calcium levels through foods like yogurt, leafy greens, almonds, or a supplement, if needed, can make a noticeable difference in your stability and strength. And here's something you might not expect: calcium, along with magnesium, has a calming effect on the nervous system. That means it can actually help with sleep. Better sleep leads to better muscle recovery, sharper memory, and less fatigue during the day. So this one nutrient quietly supports several parts of your health all at once. You're not just preventing cramps, you're improving how you move, think, and rest. Now, we've covered all 7 vitamins and minerals: magnesium, B12, vitamin D, vitamin E, potassium, folate, and calcium, and what they do for your legs, your brain, and your overall energy. What's powerful is how connected all of these are. It's not just about one thing. It's about the balance. When your body has what it needs, everything runs smoother, from the way your legs carry you through the day, to the way your mind stays sharp and focused. So many people feel like it's just part of getting older to feel stiff, weak, or tired. But more often than not, what feels like aging is really just your body asking for better support. And that support doesn't have to come from complicated routines or expensive treatments. Sometimes, it's as simple as getting more magnesium in your meals, checking your B12 levels, or taking a few extra minutes to stretch your legs before bed. And let's not forget the role of stress. Chronic stress drains your body. It eats through your nutrient stores, affects your sleep, and makes your muscles tense. That tension can lead to cramps, soreness, and even reduced mobility over time. So managing stress, whether it's through walking, deep breathing, connecting with friends, or just giving yourself a quiet moment during the day, isn't just good for your mind. It's vital for your physical strength, too. If you've been dealing with leg cramps, weakness, or even brain fog, don't ignore it. These symptoms are signals, your body's way of saying, hey, something's off. Help me out. And the beauty is, in many cases, you can help it out. Memory loss caused by stress or nutrient deficiencies isn't always permanent. Muscle fatigue from poor sleep or low magnesium doesn't have to become your new normal. These are things you can work on and see real change. You deserve to feel strong and steady. You deserve to move through your day without pain or frustration. Whether you're chasing grandkids around the backyard, walking your dog, or just wanting to enjoy a stroll without worrying about cramps, you can absolutely get there. It starts with awareness, with understanding what your body needs, and with small choices made consistently that add up to a big difference over time. So take a moment today and think about your own habits. Are you getting enough of these nutrients? Are you sleeping well? Are you managing stress, even a little bit? Don't wait until something breaks down. Strengthen your legs and your life, starting now. And hey, if this video helped you learn something new or gave you that nudge to start taking better care of yourself, do me a favor. Hit that like button. It really helps support the channel. Leave a comment and let us know, have you dealt with leg cramps or muscle weakness? What's worked for you? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future tips on staying healthy, active, and strong at any age. And of course, turn on post notifications so you get alerted every time we upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself, listen to your body, and remember, you're stronger than you think. Here's to moving better, feeling better, and living your best life, one step at a time.